Hi, welcome to my channel, Tiger Rose Nails. Today we're going to be removing dip powder nails using the fastest, most effective, easiest method that I know of, and it uses things you already have around your house. For step one, we're going to trim off any tips that you might have glued on, not your natural nails, just any like false tips that are glued on. And then you're also going to remove any bling, such as rhinestones or these pearl gems that I have glued onto my nails. So anything like that you want to take off, it'll just save you some time. Both of these steps will save you a lot of soaking time in the acetone. You also want to remove any jewelry that you're wearing. This will protect it from the dust and from the acetone. Step two, we're going to file off the sealing layer. The sealing layer is usually a top coat. In my case, I have gel polish art over my dip powder, and so the gel polish is going to slow down the acetone from penetrating the dip powder, so I'm going to file that all off. You can also use a hand file. You don't have to use an e-file. I just have the e-file and I'm decent with it, so it's a lot faster for me than hand filing. You want to use the forward setting if you're using your right hand to file on an e-file. You want to use the reverse setting if you're filing with your left hand. I'm using a ceramic bit here to remove the gel polish. And this is my favorite bit for this application, and I will link the product down in the description box. Like magic, my left hand is now done. I'm just going to switch the drill bit, or the drill, to the reverse setting, and I'm going to start filing my right hand. First, I've got to remove those pearl gems off of my right hand before I can start. I do dip powder and also gel nail art, basically what you can see that was on my nails from before. Sometimes I do just dip powder, sometimes I do dip powder with gel, sometimes I do dip powder with stamping. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell for notifications. If you like this video, just hit the little thumbs up to like it and leave me a comment down below to tell me what you think. Also, if you have a faster way of removing dip powder, if you found some amazing secret, please, by all means, share below in the comments. I'm sure we would all like to know what your secret is. Just to give some context, I have shortened this up quite a bit. I've shortened this down to about a 12-minute video, but it took me 40 minutes of soaking. I worked that out, and I think it probably took me about as long, probably 20 minutes in filing. But still, that's an hour of my life, so that's a very long time to remove product off of your nails. I know gel polish just by itself is so much faster. It only takes about 20 minutes per hand, so you get done in about 40 minutes. Or if you want to go around with tinfoil fingers for hours, you can just do it on both hands. But dip powder seems to take so much longer, but it's definitely worth it, I think, for how tough it makes my nails. So I'm just removing the dust. I finished filing. I'm basically just going to take a quick break here, and in order to do that, I'm going to throw some nail polish on my nails. We were going to dinner, and I didn't want to go with my natural nails to dinner because they're very thin and they would have broken. I would have ended up with a broken nail had I gone bare nailed to dinner. So basically at this point I have my dip powder on and I'm just going to cover it really quickly with this polish, and then I'm going to let it dry and go to dinner, and then I'll come back afterwards and we'll soak off the dip powder. I was kind of hoping this glittery polish would kind of cover up all those filing marks. It definitely left some divots and grooves in my dip powder there. Not too obvious, thankfully. I did a nude color, so it wasn't too crazy looking, but this is definitely a good way to take a break in between if if your dip powder removal takes as long as mine does. All right, step 3. We are going to gather our materials to remove the product. That would be 2 plastic baggies, a bowl of water or rice heated up so that it's warm, 2 paper towels, or some of those little, they're called Brillo pads. They're green little scrubby sponges. Those are even better than paper towels. And then also 100% acetone. You can see I'm taking the paper towels, folding them up, and putting them inside the baggies. I'm going to use these to rub my nails on as they soak to get the product off just a little bit faster. That's why the scrubby green things are even better. I like to do both hands at the same time to save some time, so that's why I have 2 plastic baggies. You could use the same one twice. It just take a long time. So I microwaved a bowl of water for about 2 minutes, and it was very, very hot. But that seemed to be a good amount of time to where it didn't quite burn me, but it also stayed hot for a really long time. Now I'm going to add some 100% acetone into those plastic baggies, enough to soak the paper towel and still leave a little bit floating in there so that I can soak my nails in the liquid acetone. We've got everything gathered and it's time to soak. So step 4, I believe, is time to soak. So we're going to put our hands in the plastic baggies with the paper towels and the acetone, and then we're going to take those baggies and put them in the hot water. And you'll just scrub your fingers on whatever you've got in that bag to take the product off a little bit faster. The heat from the water or the rice or whatever you end up using will speed up the acetone just a little bit. Make the whole process just go a little bit faster. And so I have kind of cut through the 40 minutes of me soaking here, and I have jumped to about the middle where I pulled my hands out of the bag and just kind of cleaned off some of the dip powder that was sticking to my nails, but it was soft, so it was ready to come off. It just wasn't, the paper towels weren't quite tough enough to take it off, so I cut out some of it, but I used my nails and I used some tools out of my nail kit to kind of gently scrape off the softened product. And now I'm soaking again. And at that point, we are basically done. I think I do a little bit of cleanup around my cuticles, but that's basically it. You could stop at this point. It's really quick. It's really easy compared to some of the other things that I've tried anyways. And it's the best thing like I said before, if you find something that's even better, please share below and let us know what you found. And, maybe I'll see it and I'll try it. I can only hope. And so the last step that I'm doing, and this is just because I'm a little maybe OCD or something, but I'm just going to clean up around the cuticles because there's some product that kind of got stuck in those grooves. And that's all I'm doing. And then we're done. I don't know if you can see, but I'm using a bit that's designed for being used around the cuticles. It's got kind of a sharp point, but it's a little bitty. And this is great for getting that area, that little gap between the cuticle and the nail, and also getting underneath the nail if you get product underneath your nail, which I usually do. So it's great to clean that up. Here is the final result after I clean up my area just a little bit. As you can see, my nails are pretty much completely clean. They're a little dry. You should probably put some cuticle oil on after this. I usually wait until after I do my nails again. Like I said, I don't leave mine bare, so that's my next step before I put cuticle oil on. But if you're stopping here, definitely put some cuticle oil on. Please don't forget to like the video if you liked it. I very much appreciate you watching, and I really hope you enjoyed it. So thanks again.